Rob Z Show!
Hey, what's up, girls and guys? This is Rob Z. This is my YouTube channel. This is my first video on the YouTube channel. This is something I'm starting out today, and it's just to talk about things. I'm just a normal guy who lives in a small town, who's got a wife, a kid, and a house, and I'm a radio DJ. And I've been wanting to do this kind of thing for a long time. So the way I'm going to start this first YouTube video out is just talking about something that I saw on Facebook earlier today. I was looking through my Facebook wall, as we all do, and you glance through, and sometimes you see some ridiculous things or ridiculous people, and sometimes you are the ridiculous person, right? Sometimes it's somebody else who's being ridiculous. Hopefully, the majority of the time, it's somebody else and not you. But sometimes you follow those ridiculous people just to see what they write. And there was a girl on there, and I'm not going to get into specifics, but basically what she was saying was like she had a job and her manager was screwing her out of hours, and she was going off this big long post, going off about her manager and how her job sucks and how her manager's a jerk and how it wasn't fair to her and how the job wasn't fair to her and how he wasn't being fair, he or she, I don't know if the manager's a guy or a girl, but they were not being fair to her situation. And just kind of going off about the town she lived in, which is the town that I live in, which really isn't even important. It's any town in America, right? I mean, their small towns are predominantly, I think, pretty similar, depending on the area of the country that you're in. But the story this girl was saying really resonated with me because whenever I was younger, I'm 31 now, I'll be 32 in, I don't know, 5 months or 4 months or something like that. But when I was younger, I used to think, God, why do I live in this terrible town? This small town. I've got to get out of this town. I've got to go do something big with my life. And I never left. I was going to. Had big plans to. Never did it. Backed out. My wife actually backed out for me. And I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to do it either. And I was regretful of that for a while. And I'm not anymore. I'm really happy of where I stayed. And what this Facebook post jogged into my memory, or jarred in my brain, was that we take for granted where we are in the world. We take for granted where we are in this country. Things could be a lot worse. And sometimes we don't appreciate how much worse they really could be. We don't appreciate, I shouldn't say how much worse, we don't appreciate how lucky we are to be where we are. And I know you might have a bad situation. You might be in a worse situation than me. You might be in a better situation. I don't know. You might not even be in America. You might be in another country. But there's places in the world where you have to fear for your life every single day. There's places in the world where people can kick down your door and kidnap your family. I mean, that can happen really anywhere, but places where it happens more often than not, where there's gunfire, where there's bombs going off, where there's bombs being dropped on innocent people. You know, and sometimes we Americans are the cause of that. Not me and you personally, but our government is the cause of that, the war machine or whatever it is. But if Facebook has really opened up this world of stupidity, and I hate to say stupidity, but I feel like that's what it is. People are just goofy, and they don't really know or appreciate where they are. And I think this starts a lot with my generation. In the younger generations, I'm seeing it more and more. There's no appreciation for where we are or where you are or how lucky you are, right? People feel hopeless. They feel helpless. They feel like, well, I can't do anything. I live in a small town. I da-da-da this. I da-da-da that. No, we can do anything. And I mean this for myself, too. I'm trying to inspire myself because we literally can do anything. You just set your mind to it and set goals and just keep going. But it's difficult to do. I'm lazy. I'm less lazy than I used to be, but I'm still pretty lazy. And I think that we get caught up in this situation where we think that people can't change and we can't change and we're not going to be able to do anything with our lives because we're stuck in a situation. This right here, what I'm talking in front of, this camera, this iPad, I'm set. I could put this on the internet. It could explode. That's probably not going to, but it could, right? And that's the inspiring part. That's the inspiring thing. So you're at this job and your manager's being a jerk, and instead of going on Facebook and sounding off, do something about it. Either get a new job, number one, say something to your manager in a kind and appropriate way, number two, step it up at your job. Prove to your manager, or if you can, prove it to your superiors above your manager that you're worth more. And if this person is not helping you, they're not cutting the mustard, and you think you deserve a better spot than they do. Now, if you feel that way, don't be entitled. Prove it. Prove that you deserve that better spot. Prove that you're a good employee. Prove that you're a good person. And it's difficult to say. It's easy to say. It's very difficult to do. But I think I look at these Facebook posts and I look at these people who just complain. And it's fine to complain, but complain to yourself. Complain to somebody around you. Don't complain on Facebook. Don't throw it out there for people just to garble up. And some people will agree with you, and that'll further entice their complaining and their complacency and their entitlement. None of us are entitled to anything. The world nor anybody else owes us anything. Nobody owes me anything. Even people that I feel owe me a favor. They don't owe me anything. Why should they? It's your world to grab by the horns and take to the direction that you want it to go in. It's not anybody else's decision. And that's really hard to grasp, I think. It's really hard to take hold of for me personally. I've just now started to take a hold of that, and I'm almost 32 years old. So I'm sure if you're younger than me, hopefully you have a better grasp on it than I do. I support you if you do. I think that's awesome that you're ahead of me and ahead of the game. I'm going to do these videos. I'm not going to edit these videos. Some of my videos on here I will edit. This one and the rest of these